metropolitan city of South India, the colours change every instant. Returning to this city, even after a short gap, Bangalore would almost be like visiting a new place altogether.
Bangalore is one of the most beautiful cities in India. Today it's garbage.
Just 30 years ago, there were not even 60,000 people living here. Today it is 5 million. For a city that has grown too fast, too soon, could the forthcoming civic elections bring a positive change? After waiting for more than a year, the people of Bangalore must be eager to finally elect their civic representatives.
Election by election? Election.
No idea.
I'm not interested. Who is bothered? I'm not bothered.
Politics ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನನಗೇನು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. Election ಏನು ಸರ್ ನಾವು ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತಾ?
It's all bullshit. I don't believe politics.
I think it's a waste of time.
ಖಂಡಿತ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯವರು ಯಾರು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ.
அப்படி எவன் தான் என்னது செய்ய போறான் அப்படி? நம்ம வேலை உண்டு நம்ம உண்டு பஸ்.
The poor are becoming poorer.
It's all a big sham, isn't it?
What difference has it made?
We have been watching how corrupt the administrations have been, how corrupt the ministers are.
The citizens of India today are fed up with politicians.
Minister and
You go to the top, it's corruption.
police and
You start at the bottom, it's corruption. For everything you have to pay.
Election ಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಕೂಡ ಕಾಲಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬಿದ್ದು ಹೋದ್ರು.
Indian politicians are like that. They're not to be believed.
ನಾವು ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಇಟ್ಕೋಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನಂತರ ಅದೇ ಮಾಮೂಲಿಯಾಗಿ ಅವರವರ ಬುದ್ಧಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ.
This can't go for a long time.
We want a non-corrupt, a clean administration to do some good service to the people.
I think we should take the reins.
सब एक जैसे नहीं रहते, किसी के माथे पे लिख के नहीं रहता कि वो अच्छा है बुरा है.
And if we have to go out onto the streets to do it, I think we should do it.
I think all of us, especially the educated class, has been very apathetic to the whole thing, and just being cynical about it. That has to change.
Cubbon Park, one of the few green lung spaces left in Bangalore. Today this park will be witnessing a small radical step to reclaiming the city's elections. The handful of resident groups meeting here are determined to bring transparency to the elections in their localities. They are coming here as part of a program initiated by the Public Affairs Centre, a non-governmental organisation. Public Affairs Centre, or PAC, came into being in 1994 with the belief that governance is too serious a business to be left to the government alone.
Public Affairs Centre is an independent, non-profit organisation dedicated to the cause of improving the quality of governance in India. It tries to enhance transparency in public affairs and increase the awareness of citizens about their democratic functions.
In May 1996, we organized a Know Your Candidates program for parliamentary elections in collaboration with the local newspaper Deccan Herald.
This was a major exercise in that it covered all the constituencies in the state of Karnataka. We had 31 responses, and this was covering all the major parties who participated in the parliamentary election.
This time the exercise focuses on the city elections. We are getting resident groups to be involved in the collection and dissemination of information so that residents of the ward can get to know their candidates better.
Two other NGOs, the Bangalore Environment Trust and Civic, are linking arms with PAC to mobilize people's organizations for the meeting. The recently enacted Nagara Palika Act hopes to establish local self-governance in urban areas by decentralizing municipal functions from the state to the local bodies for people to take control.
Also, at the same time, it is the establishment of the wards and the ward committees which is actually going to get participatory planning processes going in the city itself.
ಅವರು ಜನರಿಗೆ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಬಟ್ ಇದು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಬಂತ ಅಧಿಕಾರ ಅಂತ ಜನಗಳು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ.
This is the first time that civic elections will be held after this act has been passed, and it is an opportunity for the local people to use it to their benefit. The goal of the 8 resident groups is to bring in a responsive government in contrast to all these years.
All these years, the party people used to do a lot of propaganda about the candidates. Now I think we have to go to the candidates and find out more details about them.
Yes, what we could do is get a list of the candidates, go to their homes, find out from them what they want to do. I think that would be much better than waiting for the party work to come to us.
That's a very good idea. We can prepare a nice questionnaire about 10 or 15 questions and then take it to the candidates and get their answers to each of those questions.
Once you get this questionnaire going, we'll get all the information and that can be put into this paper for distribution among the people in the ward.
Let's put on some of the things that we ought to know about from these candidates, like what do you think?
Maybe criminal records, yes, of the candidates.
Most important is their age and education qualifications, and more important is what they want to do for the ward after they get elected.
The same thing I feel what they have done previously also, if they have done nothing, they will not do anything in the future also. That's what I feel. So they should.
Previously they may not have done, you see. But if they are going to do something good for the ward now, they should.
Don't we want to know whether they have any criminal record in the past?
We are not investigators who will go ahead and find out about their criminal records. So I'm a little apprehensive about that.
So why not ask them and ask an open question? They should be more bold enough. When they can bold enough to take bribe.
If the criminal record is there, somebody else can question that later.
The data filled in a questionnaire, then we give it back to PAC.
I think the PAC can play a central role in this. We will get the questionnaires formatted and finalize it, print it in both English and Kannada, distribute a bunch to all the groups, and then we could also get a feedback from all of you and then process it and then print it and distribute it to each of the wards.
So now we need to just get out there and collect information and get volunteers.
One of the oldest localities in Bangalore, Malleshwaram is also proud to have a committed citizens group, the Malleshwaram Swabhimana Initiative. This area is well on its way to becoming a model locality with all the right ingredients. Inspired people, a strong movement, and a constituency reserved for women candidates. Members of the Malleshwaram Swabhimana Initiative step into the act of collecting the information from the candidates of their ward. At Public Affairs Centre, a wealth of information pours in from the 8 wards. It is no easy task for the PAC to process the voluminous data for printing and distribution to the wards.
So I got a fax here from Indanagar, ward number 74. There's a major problem there. One of the candidates' party affiliation is printed wrongly and they are objecting to it.
Shall we go ahead and get a press note issued on this?
Okay, sir, I'll try my best. Thank you.
Times of Malleshwaram comes in handy for the Malleshwaram Swabhimana Initiative. The neighborhood newspaper carrying the profiles of the candidates becomes an ideal vehicle for spreading the information to the community.
I think this is the first time such a thing is happening here.
ಇದು ಒಂಥರ experimental agide.
Yes, of course, some more knowledge, some more information about the individuals I got. ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಹಿಡಿಸ್ತು ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕ್ಯಾಂಡಿಡೇಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ನೇರವಾಗಿ ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು.
ఇప్పుడు ఇట్లా ఏం ముందే చూడాలా చూసుకొని ఆమెను మేము అడుగుతాము ఎవరు వస్తారో వాడికి చూసుకొని.
Well, it's a good idea that all the candidates have been interviewed.
Yes, this is a beginning, a good step.
One good thing is, of course, the income and the source of income.
This is a new venture on the whole.
No paper can decide the person to whom we vote. We take our own decision.
Certainly this paper was very useful. Without this, I don't think we could have made any kind of choice except a random choice.
It's an exercise in the right direction, I would say that. But it's obviously not enough to decide who your councillor is going to be.
I don't think the information is very accurate because I feel with regard to their assets, whether they have given the accurate information.
The fact that he lied to the public, that would go against him.
The most important aspect of this is that the views and facts put forth here have been voluntarily given by the respective candidates. This therefore can be held against them.
None of them seem to have bothered with income tax at all.
No, we can't cross-check them.
I think that is a good start, I would say.
I had my own decision earlier to this interview. Now I have changed the decision.
As the pace settles down, the residents' groups reflect on the entire exercise and share experiences. There were ups and downs, moments of triumph and disappointments. In comparison to the 100 wards in Bangalore, 8 wards may seem insignificant. But for a start, ordinary people were able to sow the seeds of change. For Public Affairs Centre, this exercise complements their involvement with initiatives such as report card surveys on public utilities, studies on corruption, demystifying municipal budgets, etc. People all over need to find creative ways such as this to get active in local affairs. Democracy, after all, is not just elections, but what happens between elections.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step.
You have to start from scratch, isn't it? But I hope it will become national.
जब हिंदुस्तान एक है तो जब ये सुधरेगा.
And if all the residents take an active interest as what is happening in Malleshwaram, I'm sure we can make a difference.
It will start small always. I mean, I don't think anything planned in a very grandiose scale ever has succeeded.
Initially, it may not even be a ripple, but I'm sure it will come to a time when that ripple will be a wave.